Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast channel, Center of Excellence Pharma 4. In today's episode, I am going to discuss artificial intelligence revolution in drug development and what are the strategic implications for the pharmaceutical executives. Let me give you a brief introduction about ourselves. We have developed a concept Center of Excellence Pharma 4. This is focused on to emerging technologies like cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, robotics, IoT, chatbot, and how these technologies can really help to solve the problems, challenges into pharmaceutical industry and help to achieve operational and business excellence. So our main focus is on emerging technologies, digital transformations, and Pharma 4. You can see more information at our website respa.com. We have also designed a course, Smart Manufacturing in Pharma, with 20 modules, which is available on Udemy platform. We launched our YouTube channel about 5 years back. This is focusing again onto the same topics, but covers from business strategy to systems audits and validation. This has got 330 videos today. We have a podcast channel. This my today's episode is a part of that, which has got more than 60 episodes. We also have a book series, again focused on to Pharma 4. And right now there are 4 books are already there onto Amazon platform, which are available on Kindle as well as paperback. So with this introduction, let's start with the subject. So my topic today is actually that artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the drug development and what are the strategic implications onto pharma industry, specifically the pharma executives. So that's what I wanted to discuss in today's session. So my today's agenda is introduction, evolving the landscape of artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical R&D, current adoption trends, artificial intelligence applications across the drug development value chain, what are the strategic benefits and ROI potential, implementation challenges for the pharma executives, strategic frameworks for the pharma executives, implementing artificial intelligence governance into frameworks, what is the future outlook, and strategic recommendations. So, what is the current status? The artificial intelligence role in pharma industry is basically transforming research and development processes, and that is how it is moving beyond the preliminary explorations actually at this particular stage. Today, 91% of executives have realized the value of artificial intelligence, and 3 quarters are actively implementing. That's almost 75% are actively trying to implement it and testing it to explore the possible opportunities of artificial intelligence solutions. But still, it's a very elementary, primitive stage, and there is a very long way to go. So, comprehensive analysis is really required to examine the strategic implications and how it gets connected to the entire value chain. Pharmaceutical executives are now getting help from this technology evolution, which is really happening it, and that is helping them to give the guidance to achieve the better results and all. The challenges over here at this present drug development is very costly. Its average cost is coming out to be almost 2.6 billion for the each new drug, and its timeline is very lengthy. It takes maybe dozens of years and all that with a low success rate. That's hardly 10%, 9.6% or something like that to reach that particular drug or the product to the market actually. So these are the challenges are there. Now, how and where artificial intelligence technologies or methodologies can help. Artificial intelligence is a big area and it is covers machine learning, also an algorithm, which helps for the predictive models actually. Deep neural networks is also there, which can really handle the complex patterns identifications and all, and how that can contribute it in designing those experiments and trials and all that. And the third one is the natural language processing systems. This can help in extracting the insights from the all the experiments and all that. So broadly, that artificial intelligence that goes these three subsets, machine learning, neural network, and natural language processing and all that. Now FDA has recognized that artificial intelligence can do a big contribution, and it has accepted that broad category about the algorithms or the models which can be designed and developed to expedite this whole process or can reduce the time and cost actually, and that is how it has been developing the capabilities of including the learning, decision making, and predictions and all that. So it's in a process, and there is a initial discovery for this post-market surveillance and all is taken into the considerations and all. So the present adoption trends are that it is shifting from pilot project to strategic implications and all that. So the organization have now started moving beyond isolated artificial intelligence process, and they are now looking and thinking about how it can be integrated into the various functionalities. Like in the whole R&D, there are designing, then carrying out the experiment, then its interfaces, and then future planning for the new experiments, or maybe the uh, indexing for the various components or the formula management. So all those factors are now have to be taken into considerations and all. And now what has been really observed that the pharmaceutical executives are now changing their approach, attitude. They are geared up for accepting this artificial intelligence, and executives are no longer skeptical about its potential. That its potential is accepted and all that. That's a big achievement. It's a good motivation for those things and all. So, as I mentioned earlier, that 21% leaders have now have some solutions in place. There 33% are now working on to some developments, and 20% are now trying to explore the new options. So it's a quite a positive scenario, and it's going to definitely help in the long term. So how we can do the target identifications and validations? So artificial intelligence algorithms are to be designed for the target identification. So analyzing the vast biological data set and then identifying the novel targets is the first initial stage. And this will build a relationship between the genes, proteins, diseases, and the drugs and all that. And that will start accelerating the target identification. So linking of genomic data along with the patient's records or something like that, which is now really helping happening it by the use of artificial intelligence and its algorithms and all that. Now, AlphaFold capabilities is the 3D protein structures can be designed and then those can be corrected, forecasted. So it has been observed that forecasting is been achieved by out of 43 structures, 23 they are giving a good results or something like that. So that see these are the more challenging areas, the initial phase and all that. Once it starts of working, then you can get to those AI tools are developed as per your requirements and all that. So then you start looking and thinking about how it can be further accelerated with those discoveries. So as the next step after this target identification, you start thinking about the machine learning algorithms, which can be developed from a big, huge data about the chemical libraries and all that. So generative AI can create novel molecular structures with the desired properties and all that. And then it moves to the further next step of deep learning algorithm. So initially you start with machine learning and then move to the deep learning algorithm, which will try to discover new, say, cancer treatment compounds or any other models which you are really molecules which you are working on to that. And these models are trained onto the various data sets which are really known from the present information and all that. And then comes the novel inhibitors which have been identified. So MK proteins or any crucial cancer therapies or something like that. Here I have mentioned some of those languages which probably you people are more familiar. I have just taken up from the internet and all how it can take to the next step for the drug discoveries and all that. Then it comes to the next step of preclinical testing and development. So predictive algorithms are been designed into the drug testing, which will maximize the probability of successful pharmacokinetic predictions and all. And that estimate the key properties like solubility, bioavailability, or toxicity, or something like that. And then that takes to the next level of new molecules, and you will have a improved pharmacological characteristic, and that will boost the efficiency and safety of potential drug candidates which you are planning and all that. Now, this process, as it goes on moving, helps you in a reduction in the time and then the resources required to design the experiments, carry out those experiments, and all that. And then physical testing time is subsequently reduced, and you will be able to predict better results and all that. Then once you start doing those clinical trials, that clinical trials optimization also plays a role actually. You will have to see how you enhance those patients' recruitment. So artificial intelligence analyze the electronic medical records and then the patient's data. See, this all technologies are capturing the data directly from the patient, going into the cloud technologies where all this data is getting stored. Your algorithms, which you are developed using machine learning and deep learning, are helping you to sort out the data, analyze the data, indicate the decision making process and all that. This is so it's a whole process gets started and all that, and that will help you to optimize the trial designs, which you want. That it will pinpoint the patient subgroups and which are likely to respond to the positively and all that, and then that data gets created and those trials are being developed and all. This data provide the valuable insights for the future research and all that, and enables the robust data analysis. And this now gets connected with the personalized data which you want to really capture from the patient's monitoring um, and even new technologies which are really coming up, like wearable devices, and all also can help you to have a much better real-time data, accurate data, and capturing the minor informations about those parameters and all. Everything goes into the systems and all. This then gets to linked up as a future thing for the manufacturing and supply chain optimization. So you will have AI-driven predictive analytics and all can be helpful. And that when you are completed those trials from the CRO supply chain studies and all also will help you to have a proactive supply chain management system, which will identify those either shortages or challenges which may arise into that particular thing. And at the same time, it will also compile the data related to quality management systems to get it integrated, get it stored. And the whole objective is to have a complete end-to-end seamless integrated system, starting from drug design experiments going up to the live products and products getting delivered to the patients and all that. That what is the whole objective of it. And then this product needs to be also there into the time to market it and all. So AI can really help in not only just development, but it can also process and analyze this vast data set quickly and can help you to show the results into the financials also. So a lot of studies are already happening it and all that, and it can really help not only in R&D but clinical development, operations, and commercials also. So that is what is the objective, how AI is going to contribute it in drug design and development. So finally, we are looking for the cost optimizations and efficiencies improvement. So AI will streamline those resource incentive processes and will bring the cost saving actually. So there is a behavioral analysis has also shown that some of those projects which are working has exceeded the savings maybe up to 70 billion by 2028, because this is a long term process. So, you start studying it, you design the models, you design the trials, you build up algorithms of AI, machine learning, and all that, then start implementing it in a pilot project, then go on extending it. So, this entire process, you have to really start thinking about it. And then it helps within, as I mentioned it to you, from the target identifications to the complete processes of deliveries and testing and all that also. This will enhance the success rate. So now there is a concept of improved probability of success. When you are doing those different R&D level experiments, you have to see that your success rate goes on increasing and all that. So AI will help in increasing those POS for the drug candidate. And recent studies have shown that phase one POS in AI-based monitoring thing has really given the better results. So better target selection is there, accurate predictive models have been developed, and this has helped in enhancing the decision making process. That's what is happening in. Now, when you're talking about AI-based system, data quality and governance is plays a very important role because we are capturing a huge amount of data. You must have heard about big data and those nomenclatures also, or terminology also. So that is going to drive this process. So importance of high quality data is very important, and AI systems need a very well organized data capturing, data storage, data processing, data integrity. Everything is really becoming very essential. And then there are challenges into data governance because your poor data integrity may help you to give you wrong results, and that may lead you to inconsistent definitions and probably lead to some wrong conclusions and all also. So you have to have a good control onto your data, accuracy of the data, timeliness of the data. So real-time data capturing and storing with accuracy is very important, and then that will help you to build up those data framework, those governance works and all that actually. This requires an expertise and capability gaps also. Significant expertise gaps are observed into AI implementation. So a lot of industries they struggle with those AI expertise actually, because these are the new things which are really coming up. So not many skills are available, and those skills from the technology side may not be really familiar with those requirements onto drug discovery. So those processes are two different things actually. But merging is really essential to get a best results around that. So there are top barriers for the success. This concerns over the data accuracy and technical knowledge has got shortcomings and all that. So strategic implementations are important, and transforming the pharmaceutical processes is required to see that how those AI is going to contribute it actually. Now this also has got another factor like a regulatory consideration. So FDA has got a certain requirements of the risk-based regulatory framework which to be developed and which should get supported from the AI and ML application. So this integration also plays a crucial role and important role. And EU has already drawn an act on AI implementations, and also this classifies those specific needs and requirements which you have to fulfill it. So that requirement of the data from that particular perspective is to be compiled, it's to be maintained, it's to be analyzed, and it should be available. So this has got some human consideration also has to be thought about it. So organization and cultural barriers are also to be considered. So organizations are having a complexity. There are challenges related to structure of the organizations, and people the skills have a reasons to change within those traditional framework. Regulatory caution is also there because strict regulations are hindering the AI adoption because it's not so easily accepted by regulatory authorities and all. You need to have a complete relevant documentation which needs to be submitted or not. And then comes the cultural inertia. There's resistance to new agile approaches is there. Preferences for the established methods over data-driven strategies is thought about it. And then this skills have to be really geared up for the technology readiness and its adoptions around. So considering all those various factors which discussing in this particular episode, you have to develop a AI strategy, which will be a comprehensive, which will have a top-down approach, starting from the senior management and all. Will take into consideration over those critical processes, parameters from the future perspective also. Specific and time-bound strategies have to be developed. It should also consider the organizational pain points and all and build up a clarity onto these adoptions and implementations and all. And then strategic integration with isolated pilots are also to be evaluated. No? So there are drawbacks of isolated AI projects because you are to take into consideration the complete strategic integrations and all. So you lack into many a times the cohesive look or a view from that particular angle. And then the fragmented data is compiled. It's not doesn't have a integrated part of it. So data integrity becomes a very important thing. Many a times then you lose a vested resources actually. So this collaboration and everything is really required from compliance point of view also. And then that should really align to get a strategic benefits to the organizations also. So overcoming that fragmented data is a challenge. You need a complete data integrity and all that should really help you to the drive the competitive advantage. So contributing this onto the long-term basis is more important. So drug design, drug discovery, drug development, all how it all gets connected to patient care it needs to be identified. So building versus partnering decisions. So there are always the challenges that no, you have to think about building up your own specific requirement because every company, every product, every target thing we may have a specific thing. So the consideration of AI capabilities to be thought about it, whether it's to be developed in-house or you have to really do partner with some of those similar technology-based companies who are developing and offering such similar systems and all that because everything has got its own challenges and then this is where you have to think about how best you can match both those factors to have a AI driven drug discovery companies who are specifically working on to this new developments have to be there. So industry approaches are there, different companies, Sanofi will have certain approach, maybe different multiple big companies may have a different approach depending upon their strength of availability of the AI skills, availability of the products, their target plans and everything. So we have to really look and think about it. Finally, that leads to the resource allocations and investment. As I mentioned in the very beginning, that resource requirements is very high, time taken is very high. So you have to really give a thought onto that also. So you have to cost as a barrier to AI implementation, which is a very important thing which everyone has to keep in mind actually. AI implementation is a big challenge, big costly thing and all that. So nearly many half of the executive they identify that cost as a major obstacle and all that actually. So here you have to think and do the balancing about this investment. So McKinsey research has emphasized onto the balance investment across the talent, data infrastructure, strategic partnerships, and all that actually. So you have to really give thought onto that depending upon the product or a drug on which you are wanted to do the trials. This requires a leadership also from R&D, IT, data science, and various other business functions and all, which you have to keep in mind actually. Then comes the ethical and responsible AI principles. No? You have to also have those mentioned earlier about AI governance frameworks and all that. But you will have to ensure that there will be a transparency, there will be fair, there will be human centricity. Everything should be taken into consideration or not. And that will address those critical concerns about ethical considerations onto AI application. And then that will have a collective responsibility about the risk management and adoption to this particular thing and all. But coming to a final thing is that how that practical implementation step should be drawn. You have to have a clear objective settings. You will have to define the specific business problems when you are really using artificial intelligence to address those problems and all. And you have to define now what is your measurable success metrics and all that. Then do that internal assessments, evaluate the organization or the company readiness to carry out those, some such studies and all that. Access the data infrastructure, identify those capability gaps, engage those people to carry out those experiments and those functionalities and all. And then you have to have innovation fostering strategic partnerships from the technology or other things and all to achieve those operational excellence. Now, I just wanted to mention you that some of the emerging trends also are taking place. Now, there is trying to revolutionize the molecular designing capabilities and all. It's also trying to combining the genomic, proteomic, and other biological data for holistic disease understanding, enhancing the target identification. AI-enabled labs in the loop system are to be developed. So now, because the huge data from those clinical trials and clinical thing is there, how to use that data for the better decision making to this particular phase or maybe some other development activity is to be there. And then it has a learning culture has to be there. The artificial intelligence is going to have many more capabilities. So how you will maintain the data with the privacy, the security, and those factors are to be thought about. It. And strategic priorities for that executives. Now, executives have to build amongst the team no data foundations first. No, that to ensure that robust data infrastructure has to be there. It will implement a governance and quality management system. Then you focus on to measurable value, no? The data which is really going to contribute it. So prioritize those initiatives with clear objectives, what ROI is expected. Develop those talent strategies among the team so that those expertise gaps can be bridged up and all that. Governance framework is to be developed. And finally, that will drive the cultural transformations and all. So coming to the conclusion is it's a very challenging area. There are unprecedented opportunities that are going to come. AI revolution is going to offer a significant competitive advantages into the development where the speed, cost, efficiencies, and quality play a very important role. But systematic strategic integration is really required to move beyond those experiments and all also. Implementation challenges are there from the technology, from the organization, from the cultural point of view. But future divergence is there. It will go on breaching of the gaps between those companies and AI, and those who are lacking behind will really find it extremely difficult to successful into the growing future markets and all that. You will find maybe some more videos onto our other topics also. So please look at those uh, social media platforms. Feel free to share with your thoughts. If something needs to be added, something needs to be changed, something needs to be improved or not to that. We are there to help you and do share this with your network so that now we will be able to support to their challenges also. Thank you. Bye.